Now, from the heart of the Low Country, this is News 2 at noon.
Hey, good afternoon. Today's Tuesday, January 10th. I'm Rebecca Ryan in for Brad Franco. We're going to get to your top stories in just a couple minutes, but first let's check in with Storm Team 2 meteorologist Kyle Dennis in for Josh. What's going on out there? All right, South Carolina lawmakers go back into session today, and money will be one of the top issues. Legislators say reforming the state tax code is one of their top priorities. That means you may pay different tax this year. One idea is slashing income or tax exemptions, like the $300 sales tax cap on cars and trucks. Fixing roads and bridges is also a top priority, along with how to pay for that.
I don't think it's just a funding problem. It's also the sheer size of the system. I mean, we got like the 5th largest highway system in the state highway system in the United States. Maybe that's some of the problem.
This time last year, lawmakers started with a deficit of $850 million, but tax collections have been better than expected, and this year they have an extra $900 million to work with. Legislators say they want to use that money for tax relief and to pay down debt. And with legislators back at work, they're considering a new bill that affects the unemployed. If you aren't working and you want to keep collecting in unemployment benefits, you may soon have to volunteer. The bill only impacts people after 6 months of collecting checks. It requires you to take a job or begin volunteering for community service 16 hours a week.
If you're not working and you can do something to support the community and network at the same time, I think it's something positive. It gives you a good mental attitude. It makes you feel better about yourself. And I just think it's a win-win situation for everyone.
The bill states after 6 months, you would lose your unemployment benefits if you fail to accept a job or volunteer each week. Lawmakers are still researching to make sure this bill doesn't conflict with federal laws. Critics wonder who will be able to monitor those hours. And while senators and representatives head back to Columbia today, Governor Nikki Haley continues the battle over her voter ID law. Right now, the governor, along with Attorney General Alan Wilson, House Speaker Bobby Harrell, and members of the General Assembly are holding a conference to discuss Haley's proposed voter ID law. The Justice Department rejected the law last month, saying it makes it harder for minorities to vote. New at noon, according to firefighters in Ridgeville, an early morning fire burned down a home in Dorchester, sending one woman to the Augusta Burn Center. Firefighters said the call came into dispatch just before 4 this morning. The fire leveled the home off Four Holes Road. Fire crews from Ridgeville helped a helicopter land to take the woman to Georgia. Her husband was also burned. Their home was a total loss. In our Crime Tracker report today, Charleston County deputies investigate if a home invasion in West Ashley is tied to any other recent invasions, including the Allison Griffer incident. Right now, deputies are looking for 5 masked gunmen who broke into a home off Gun Drive late last night. The people inside say 5 masked men broke in, beat them up, and stole 2 cell phones. The victims were not seriously injured. Now detectives are looking for the men and trying to figure out why they did it. The Charleston County coroner won't release the name of a person that died on Maybank Highway last night. The coroner's office is waiting for toxicology results before releasing the name or cause of death. Charleston County deputies responded to a single-car accident on Maybank Highway at Rackley Road on Watamala Island. Last night, it was about 10 o'clock. Deputies say one driver was killed in the accident. The traffic division is investigating a cause. Authorities say the patient on a medical helicopter tried to fight the medical crew and then jump out of the aircraft. According to incident reports, a 26-year-old man jumped from an SUV going 70 miles per hour on Interstate 95 Saturday evening. The man had several serious injuries, so paramedics called a medical helicopter to transport him to the hospital. Authorities say while in the air, the man broke loose from the backboard and started fighting the crew. The pilot made an emergency landing at the Low Country Regional Airport, where an ambulance took him to the hospital. The man was placed in ICU. No word on his condition. State educators look for ways to boost reading skills. Educators say increasing the time students spend reading, writing, or expanding classroom libraries, or even requiring teachers to have more training are among some of the ideas a state panel is considering. Superintendent Mick Zais leads the panel, which met for the 4th time this week. Legislators asked for a report by January 15th. Last year, 1 out of every 3 4th graders tested below basic in reading. That means they aren't ready for their next grade level. The panel's focus is early years, since students show if they are proficient by 3rd grade, they're less likely to graduate. In Georgia, an effort to mix 2 school subjects in a math lesson adds up to outrage. 3rd graders at an elementary school near Atlanta brought home an assignment that shocked their parents last week. The idea to integrate social studies in a math lesson resulted in questions like, okay, each tree has 56 oranges. If 8 slaves pick them equally, then how many would each slave pick? Another asked students to figure out how many beatings Frederick Douglass received in a week. Irate parents could not believe their eyes. School leaders collected the assignments and say they won't be used again. The district has opened a human resources investigation into the 2 teachers involved. In Decision 2012 report this afternoon, it's the first in the country primary since 1977. Right now, the primary is underway in New Hampshire. Tracy Potts has more. In 60 years, no Republican has won the nomination without placing first or at least second in New Hampshire. Tonight, a portion of CNN's broadcast of the New Hampshire primary will originate from the College of Charleston. During the CNN broadcast, a small focus group of South Carolina voters will grade the politicians on various factors during the primary night. The panel of South Carolina voters will be located in the School of Education, Health, and Human Performance Alumni Center during the broadcast, which goes from 7 until midnight. The South Carolina primary is on January 21st. Rick Perry has already turned his attention to the Palmetto State. The Texas governor kicked off a 15-day campaign tour across South Carolina this weekend. On Thursday, Perry will spend his afternoon in Summerville. At 2 o'clock, he is expected at the Murphy Law Firm to walk Main Street. After his tour through the town, he heads to Hyatt's Pharmacy in Walterboro. In a News 2 follow-up, it looks like the Berkeley County Alcoa plant isn't going anywhere for now. The aluminum giant plans to cut production at least 3 European plants as part of previously announced cuts. The Mount Holly plant is not in the clear yet, though. For the last 6 months, they have been negotiating a lower electric rate with Santee Cooper. Officials at Alcoa say without a decrease, it will have to shut down. The plant pays about 10% of the money that comes into Santee Cooper, which is about $180 million each year.